watching the news, stone going like, wee!
Here at Beans.
Hey, thanks for stopping by here at Beans. My name is Josh Larsen, and the year 2020 has been one for the record books. We've been dealing with the global pandemic. We've had political unrest here in America with protests and riots going on all throughout the country, and the West Coast was on fire for most of the summer. Many things that individually would have put a damper on our year just got thrown at us. We've had to try to figure out how to wrap our brains around any of it. And now we got bars and clubs closing, can't go out and drink. Entertainers are losing so much during this time, especially the up and coming, right? Some of us have just figured out how to maneuver through this terrible industry, and now we got nowhere to go. What hurts even more is losing that connection with our peers, right? That bit that allows us to grow and get better. We're all just dying on the inside as we watch months tick by. I think the important thing to remember, though, is you're not alone in your struggles. We're all struggling through this together. So I sat down with comedian Kyle Adams. Kyle's been at the comedy game for about 6 years and was getting ready to make that leap to touring comic. And then 2020 came around. So sit back and enjoy as Kyle tells us how he has been dying on the inside. The way the pandemic, the way COVID and all of that stuff has hit us, it was such a change, such a quick impact on our lives that like January, you could be setting your New Year's resolutions, and then here we are just trying to survive now a full year later. I'm wondering, like, come January, January 2019 or 2020, the beginning of all this, what was your thought? What was your plan for the year? Did you have anything big?
So I was, in the beginning of the year, I was in San Francisco, and I was visiting family, and I was doing some shows out there. And my whole idea was, this is the year I'm going to travel to a bunch of different states. And I've been like, I had some shows plotted out in Vegas in May, and obviously that didn't happen. So I still have I have an airline credit under my name. I still have like 100 and something. $100-something airline credit. It really it threw me for a loop because like I was watching it on the news, and I was like, oh, it's like the swine flu. I was like, it's just another swine flu or bird flu or because I mean, how many times have we seen something like this that was just like a like a fluke or a scare?
Right. Yeah, it pops up, they scare you about it, and then
to be fair, it just means people really took it seriously and it didn't spread. So,
right. Have a side job, something else?
Yeah, I wait tables downtown, and I was working during the summer, and that was cool. And I made a lot of money because we were doing outdoor like patio service and stuff.
Nice.
But then it just dried up in October, and like we were doing patio for a bit, and then it just got too cold, and then obviously we're under lockdown again now. But,
sure. When they first announced like the lockdown, whatever, March, I think it was like March 13th, I had my last drink at one of the local at the Doug Fur. When they announced that, what was your initial reaction? Because I'm gonna say, as somebody who I was disappointed, my job became essential. Like I didn't get time off, and I know that sounds stupid now, but when it first hit, there was that bit of excitement, like sweet, like a month off work, and we're gonna get some money thrown at us. Cool, cool, cool. Did you feel anything like that?
I was afraid at first because I had no idea if the unemployment was going to come through, or I was like I didn't understand exactly what was happening, and I was pissed off because I was losing the two things that I'm good at. Which a lot of people in stand up, they lost both their method of income, stand up and service industry. A lot of us.
Yeah, that's a huge impact.
But I didn't take it as seriously as I thought at first, and I And it took me like until about, I want to say about mid March or like the end of March probably to really accept what it was and be like, all right, let's just chill for a minute. Getting acid at the beginning of the year, and I was in like little like microdoses, and I was feeling really good. And I remember sitting on the bus. It was like February. I was really like just feeling it, and I'm like, something really, really bad has to happen to kind of shift me out of this positive mood I've been in for so long. It's got to be something completely out of my control. And I'm like, dude, did I will this to happen? And then I lost my wallet on the bus that day. And it was like, it ruined my streak of like, because I had like, doing the microdosing, I did it like maybe like 5 days in like a 10-day period, and it was just like an awesome 10 days. I was just super positive, super happy.
Then all of this comes.
I was like, dude, I acid dreamt about this, and then it just happened.
Impacts that hit you. I know we had, in Oregon, we had the wildfires. We had tons of protesting.
The wildfires are when I really started to go a little crazy because I wasn't too like. I mean, I'm still kind of just chilling, watching TV a lot, and smoking a lot of weed because I'm unemployed again. But the wildfires really fucked with me because I was like, oh, now I can't even like go outside at all.
Yeah.
It was just like the idea that the air could choke me out. Like it was really bad where I was at. Like obviously, like I'm like Southeast Portland. It was pretty bad in like the general area, but I just remember like seeing that and just thinking like, oh, great. What's gonna happen? That is literally like it was like it's cliche, but it was an apocalyptic moment. Like it was good.
Yeah, it was fitting, for the fact that the year we get told to stay inside and do all that, and they're like, all right, the only break is that we can go outside, and then outside's now killing you even more. I remember that was like epic because it was like, oh, that basketball hoop that I got, so I could have something to do. Can't do that anymore. Like,
yeah, it's like you're definitely trapped inside now. No, it's funny though because I'm sure I found a way to blame Trump for it still.
Oh, nice.
I've just been watching everything he's been doing. Like I feel like a lot of Americans have been doing this. They're watching the news more because it's more important. And I feel like during 2016, I was just really upset with Trump, and then that led into about 2017, and then about 2018, I just kind of went, I'm not surprised by anything he does anymore. And then now in 2020, when he's really fucking up, I'm catching up on all the things he fucked up for the last 2 years. And it's like, I'm just watching the news, stoned, going like, wee! Just have no control over any of this. It's crazy.
You pay attention to what's going on in the world?
I know who everyone is now. I actually know. It's so weird. I usually thought politics are kind of boring, and I mean I have that luxury obviously because I'm not affected by a lot of shit. But now I'm just angry. I'm angry for a lot of names.
Right.
It's not fun. I don't like being political. It's a lot of anger and a lot of names.
I tried that in the beginning of this. I was like, yeah, you know what? I'm going to start writing political things. I'm going to read the news and get at it. And I just end up pissed off all the time and now like scuffing around like, oh, God damn these people. I was like, yeah, I was in that same boat of like, I knew some politics before. And then like now there's just way more time to pay attention to things and way more time to read and catch up. So I was like, yeah, now we know people's names. We know who's goofing around, who's not. Did you pay attention to any like the QAnon stuff?
Oh God, I've seen only from like Facebook trolls and stuff. Like, I've gotten in some arguments with some Facebook people. I've just been. It's stupid. I stopped doing it in about September. I stopped because I got real bad for a little while. I was just arguing with Trump supporters and QAnon people, and I had to investigate. It was like the I do think that there is some kind of like trafficking going on because that's proven to be going on, but
Mm-hmm.
it's just so weird that either side wants to attach it to, you know, to the other political party. Although Trump definitely has done some fucked up shit with kids, like it's documented.
Yeah, that was the part that got me, like, reading through when QAnon first came. I was like, you know what? Oh, these guys are making some sense. And then it ends with, like, and then the almighty Trump will come and save the day. And it was like, you lost me. Like, I was this close. And then, okay, never mind.
That's what's fucked up about a lot of those Republican ideals is it's like, of course, all lives matter, but that's not important right now. You know what I mean? Black lives are the ones that we need to be protecting right now. And it's like they present these ideas that on paper, without knowing, like, it's just very suggestible for people who aren't well educated in the matters. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
it's kind of crazy. Like they try to appeal to like a common denominator, and then they're really passing off some like contrarian nonsense. It's kind of crazy.
Did you participate in any of the protest stuff that was going on or any different marches?
I'm a coward. I'm just gonna admit it right here. I'm a coward. I don't have health insurance. I'm a coward. I don't want to get shot with a bullet, rubber or not. I've definitely. Tori and I, my roommate, we've donated money, and she's dropped off food and stuff a few times. She's been to a couple of the protests. I should have gone to some of the day protests. I did see. I went to a couple of the protests accidentally when I was downtown, and they were doing like the voting protest,
Mm-hmm.
like the walk the vote, or it's not really a protest, but like
the march.
People with megaphones doing the walk the vote or whatever. I stopped and listened to them for a while, and they're pretty cool. But I've been watching a lot of the live streams. I watched the live stream of the one in Minnesota as it was happening, like right as it was like before the National Guards came in, and that was fucking insane.
Those live streams are clutch. Like,
it was very inspiring. It was like, damn, dude, like this is great.
I'll say no shame in not going out because I'm the exact same. An absolute coward, not going out there.
Yeah, I'm shameless with that. I'm like, dude, I care a lot, and this makes me really angry, but I don't want to get shot.
Yeah, dude, pepper spray hurts, man.
I'm slow. I'm not gonna be able to run. There's a lot of exercise involved.
Right. The craziness that's gone on this year, there's got to be well, at least this happened kind of moment, right? Like, I'll be honest, for me, I got a PS5. I got lucky, but at least that happened for me this year. You got one of those?
I did buy a car, which is nice. I've been saving up for a car for a while, but I would have to say the best thing that happened this year was Trump getting COVID, and then I was at an outdoor open mic and everyone cheered. It was like a really great moment when the boogeyman, the orange boogeyman on the television, who keeps telling you this disease doesn't exist, gets hospitalized by it. It's just it makes this kind of surreal parallel universe year make a little sense. It was kind of nice. And the fact that the person who gave it to him was named Hope, I really liked. I thought that was like reality jumping the shark, though, a little bit.
So the outdoor mic, you've been hitting. I know there's a couple going on in the city, a couple of outdoor mics, and I know for a while they had a few indoor mics. You would hit any of those up?
Yeah, I went to a couple here and there, but I started getting nervous after a while, and once the numbers started spiking, I didn't go so much. But they were fun. I mean, they were very safe. Everyone was like 6 feet apart for the most part, and everyone had masks on, and no one really gave any hassle or anything.
Yeah.
That was nice.
I think the ones that they have outdoors where like the radio transmitting and you sit in your car, there's something about that where like, I don't know if I can take flashing lights as applause and like still feel good on the inside, you know?
It's that it's not the same. lame. It feels like diet comedy for sure. Especially with, like Zoom shows. I did a really fun Zoom show. That's out of Salem though. That was a lot of fun. It was Truth or Dare Live.
Oh, nice.
Emma Jonas runs that, and I've done it twice when we did real comedy.
Right.
That one really lends itself really well to online. It was fun.
That's what I noticed on some of the Zoom mics or Zoom stuff is like, you're not working on stand-up. You're doing a monologue. Like, you're just kind of working on having that out. But I still get that feeling of like, oh, I did amazing walking away, even after you bomb. But it's that same, like, at least now I'm already at home and I can just brag to myself for how good I did.
You can just go to sleep. You can literally just come home and go to sleep when you bomb. That's the best feeling I have on it.
No more do I have to, on the car ride home, stress about everything that I said. It's like, no, fuck it, I'm already home.
That's so funny. All the late night shows are like that now too. Like, it really cracks me up watching Colbert now, because Colbert has his wife in the room with him, and it's just her laughing, and it reminds me of like when you first start off comedy and your only fan is like your girlfriend. She's coming up, you know what I mean? Like, and then you're like, yeah, at least she gets it. Yeah, it's just fucking hilarious to me. They've got to like back down to beginnings there.
Right.
The humble beginnings.
What are your plans for the future, man? Post-pandemic, we got vaccines out there, so there's a light at the end of the tunnel potentially. You making any plans for the future?
I still have that credit. I think I'm gonna try and go out to Vegas once everything is like in theory again. I'm definitely, once I get the vaccine, I'm gonna go back to the Bay Area and hang out with family and stuff.
Nice.
Because I definitely want to make sure they're doing okay. And then I've got the car now, so I can travel and do out of town stuff, and that's been my goal for like the past few years, is trying to save up, and I finally, with the stimulus and unemployment, I was able to save up, which is nice.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, get that road trip planned out. That's what I was gonna do this summer, was do a big road trip and get out, and then now it's like, nope, no more. So you do any other podcasts, or you do any shows, anything you want to plug to people?
Me and Chad Johnson from Salem do a podcast called Must Be Nice, and that's been pretty cool. We've been doing that every Sunday, and it started off like a podcast about comics who don't drink anymore, because we both stopped drinking about the same time, and now it's just kind of random, but we have a lot of fun. We just end up talking about whatever.
Nice. How's it been not drinking during the pandemic?
Oh my God. It's been interesting, man. I really wanted to a couple times, but I was like, nah, just smoke yourself silly. And then like, I've smoked so much. So my local dispensary has a point system, and I have like 2,800 points from the right? And because I've just been buying an ounce like every 3 weeks there.
Yep.
And during the pandemic, and I bought this fucking bong. I got this. Let me see here. It's on the other side of the room. But no, I had this like really nice bong I got for free. So I was like, hell yeah, dude! I stacked up enough points to get that, and I still have enough to get like a nice pipe or something later. But
oh yeah.
Yeah, I've been smoking the shit out of. I mean, I've always been a stoner, so it's just kind of a lot more than usual.
Oh, dude, I may know the shop you're talking about, because I've also accumulated enough points to get a couple of free like PAX pens and stuff. So
TJ's?
Yeah, TJ's on PAL.
COVID test yet? Have you done that?
I have not. No. Dude, I don't want to, man.
Well, I had a COVID scare last week, and I went and we all got tested here, and I waited 3.5 hours, and then like, I mean, I don't mean to be a baby. I think I've got inflammation in my sinuses. He went further than I'd ever like after I had that thought, and I was like, oh fuck it, burns. And then luckily it's only for like 5 seconds, but it was really fast. I got my results back that day.
Oh, nice.
Day.
That's quick.
So it worked out good.
When I was like in the 8th grade, I got my nose broke playing baseball, and I remember the doctor was like sticking stuff up my nose to try and figure things out. And at one point, he went so far up, I grabbed his hand and just looked at him and said no, and pulled it back. So that's going to be my fear. Is I'm going to be up there like I want this person to test, but at the same time, at a certain point, no.
Apparently some places will have you do it yourself. That's what someone told me that they ended up getting it. So I mean, it depends. Like, if you ask them, they'll let you do it yourself. But
I don't know. Would I trust myself? Like, I'm not trained to do this.
that's what I said about it. I was like, I'm gonna trust them, but they have to like stick it so far in because they have to like get where the mucus is produced. They can't get like remnants. Apparently, yeah, it's really gross.
How was it having a scare? Like, did you go through all the inside scaredness? You know, like the.
I was like about 65% sure I didn't have it, so it wasn't really bad. But I just remember getting really stoned and then being like, "Fuck, do I have it?" Like, I might have it. And it was literally just, it's because the weather changed. It was because it cooled down again.
Mm-hmm.
And anytime there's like a fluctuation, I just get kind of cold symptoms. I've got sinus inflammation. I'm kind of stuffy during winter. So
yeah, that's the worst.
I was happy that I had negative results. I was like, fuck yeah.
Yeah, you strut around town.
But it's kind of weird. No, not yet. Not that bad. But no, it's kind of funny smoking weed during COVID because it's like, do I have it? Like, I'm short of. I got shortness of breath. My throat hurts. It's like, oh, I've been ripping bongs all day. Like, what do I like?
Dude, I can't handle it now. Like, whatever. I work at a like hotel front desk, and so I do the customer service thing. You're nice to people. You're friendly. And I can't do it out in public anymore. And so I get so angry at the grocery store that I either yell at people or like I just move. I've moved somebody's cart out of my way before, and that really set people off to where like I have to smoke. I have to put in some nice jazz music in my headphones and just cruise just so I don't yell and scream at people.
I know I've gotten real angry at Winco before. I was in the line for the self checkout, and there was just this dude jamming himself in, like, you know how they have all those weird like aisles and stuff to help people socially distance, and he like jammed himself in between, and he was just like ran his part, and it almost like hit me, and I just like very passive aggressively like picked up my whole cart like that and just slammed it. And I was like, okay, I guess I'll move. Like, I was like, dude, I gotta get out of here. Like, I get very angry at the store now, especially when people are being stupid.
Yeah.
I just have no, because it starts to become like I probably watch too much news. I get paranoid, and I'm like, dude, they're gonna make me sick. I'm gonna like freak out on someone.
Yep.
Every time I go to Walmart, I'm like, this is where it lives. Coronavirus lives at Walmart.
That's what, when they shut down like the Eastport Plaza Walmart, it was like, yeah, it's about time you shut down a Walmart for this. Of course it has COVID. Like, of course.
Well, they just stopped giving a fuck because for a while they were like counting everyone that came in, and they were like, okay, you guys have to wait. It felt like a fucking like a club with a mouse. And then now they're like, exit, entrance, who the fuck get in here.
Well, that's what, yeah, because then they started saying like to customer service people, like, don't go after people who aren't wearing a mask and just let them do their thing. And it's one of those where like you kind of have to, because if you let me as a patron of the store go after somebody for not wearing a mask, it's going to be way worse than if like the greeter stops somebody from, you know, saying like, hey, you got to put one on, and they get into a big altercation. At my work, I get to yell at people all the time for it, and I love it. Because it is that little bit of power. I understand that concept, but like, finally, I have a little bit of power, and put a mask on. You're gross.
My managers really like yelling at people. But I mean, I get it. And I yelled at a guy one time because he was like getting in my face without a mask, and I love the fact that I was like, oh, I can just tell him I can yell at him and tell him I'm uncomfortable because he doesn't have a mask on. And I didn't end up having to serve him, which was nice because he's being a dick. But we have a couple of things like that. Like my favorite thing, I yell at people on the patio because they'll just like zoom by on their bike or on scooters, and there's signs everywhere that say you shouldn't ride those. My favorite thing to say is, hey, don't hit that sign that tells you not to ride your bike. They'll like have to weave around the sign. They'll literally weave around a sign that says that you shouldn't ride their bike there. It's kind of funny. It's a really weird. We get a weird mix of people out there. We've got like a lot of bikers, a lot of tourists, a lot of rich people, and then we've got a lot of the homeless that are out on the waterfront. So
Yeah.
it's just this. You'll get like really, really rich Republicans like dining out there eating salmon, and then just a dude having a mental breakdown. Like, there was a dude who screamed at us like he's like you're just fattening yourselves up. They're gonna kill you like sheep or something. And I was like, I don't know what the fuck this dude's talking about, but he's just screaming at all these people and making them super uncomfortable. And I'm for it.
Oh yeah. We have a guy like that at our work where it's like I open the door to let people in and he's just screaming the F word across the street. And I just love to be like, oh, hey, what's up, Tom? As you let the guests in. Like, yeah, you can hear him from the 6th floor. Enjoy. Biggest impact of the year for you personally, whatever, career, business?
It really just I'm trying to walk away with something positive from it, like how much like I really appreciate my friends, I think, and I really appreciate like you said, like there's a lot of people like you didn't really get a chance to hang out with them as much as you'd like to, but I feel like with comedy we feel like we know each other a little bit more because we've seen each other's sets a lot, you know what I mean, and we all kind of have a common goal, so we're gonna have that familiarity for sure, but it makes me really miss everybody, and it makes me miss what I used to get to, do my favorite thing in the world every night. I even if I worked, I could still get off work and do my favorite thing, even if it went bad. Like I don't think I'm ever gonna take that for granted again. I'm at least not gonna try to. Like anytime I've been in a situation that either got worse or got better, I always try to focus on the perspective and also like the shift and how like looking back or looking forward, affected me. And this one, I feel like looking forward, I'm gonna enjoy things more. I'm gonna try really hard to be in the moment and enjoy things more.
Nice. What?
Smash my TV because I'm sick of watching. I almost feel like I'm gonna look at a TV and get like PTSD because I just have it on always.
Yeah, it ran through all the Netflix and the Hulu shows.
Dude, I've repeated Curb Your Enthusiasm like 4 times, like just in the background. Like,
Nice.
I know every episode.
And I appreciate it, man. This has been fun. We'll have to do this again.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, man. You ever? Make sure to check out the podcast Must Be Nice with Kyle Adams and Chad Johnson. And follow him on Instagram at Kyle Adams Comedy. Don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube page, Kyle Adams. Thank you for watching Time on the Inside.